Hello students, I am Rajiv sir. I will be teaching you physics in standard 8A. Students, now I am going to start chapter 2, physical quantities and measurement in physics. In this chapter, you learn about number 1, measurement of density. Of irregular solid using measuring cylinder. Next, number 2, measurement of density of irregular solid using Eureka can. Number 3, comparison of density in 3 states of matter. And 4th, upthrust. 5th, Archimedes principle. And number 6, flotation. First point is measurement of density of irregular solids using measuring cylinder. Already you know that density is mass per unit volume. That means D is equal to m by V. So to calculate density, we need to measure mass as well as volume of the body. Mass can be measured by using a beam balance or physical balance, and volume can be measured by using a measuring cylinder, which is shown here. This is measuring cylinder. Scale is marked here in measuring cylinder. So then you have to find measurement of density of irregular solid using measuring cylinder. So in this experiment, see here, to measure the density of an irregular solid using measuring cylinder, take a dry, clean measuring cylinder and place it on a horizontal surface. Fill it about half its capacity with water. Note down the readings of the water level in the cylinder. Let it be 50 ml. See here, 50 ml water is poured in this measuring cylinder. Then after, now tie the given solid of mass 5 grams. Say suppose this is the solid which has mass 5 gram with a thread and immerse it in the water in the cylinder. Again, note down the reading of the water level in the cylinder. Say after when you sink the object in this measuring cylinder, and the water level rises up to 70 ml. So the difference between the initial and the final reading gives the volume of the liquid displaced. So if a solid is completely immersed in a liquid, it displaces a volume of liquid equal to its own volume. See in figure, you have initial reading of the water is 50 ml here. See here, the initial reading of the water level is 50 ml here, and here is the final reading of the water level is 70 milliliter ml. Ml is here 70 ml. So the volume of the solid is the final minus initial volume. The final is 70 ml and the initial volume is 50 ml. So when you subtract, the volume of the solid is calculated. So 50 ml is the initial and finally 70 minus 50 is equal to 20 ml is the volume of the solid. So now calculate using the formula of density. Density is equal to mass by volume. So see here, density is equal to mass by volume. Density is equal to, mass is given 5 gram of the solid and the volume is calculated here 20. So density is equal to mass by volume 5 by 20. 5 4 is 20, 1 by 4. When you divide 1 by 4, you will get 0.25 gram per milliliter or 0.25 gram per cubic centimeter. This is the density of the irregular solid. Next point is measurement of density of irregular solids by Eureka can. Students, see here, this is known as Eureka can. It is cylindrical shaped container which had a spout located near the top. See in figure. Fill the container till the spout so that water does not overflow. It measures volume by displacement method. To measure volume of a body, keep the Eureka can at a horizontal stand so that it is at comfortable height so that water can be poured easily in it. Also keep an empty measuring cylinder on small table such that water flowing from a spout falls into the cylinder and not outside. Tie the body with a strong thread and lower it slowly into the can and collect the water in the measuring cylinder. Lower the body fully such that no water of the body touches bottom or walls of container and water displaced by the body gets collected in the measuring cylinder. The amount of water collected in the cylinder gives the volume of water. By dividing the mass by volume, density can be calculated using formula. Density is equal to mass by volume. So you can calculate the density. So if the measuring cylinder is not available, then water can be collected in beaker or flask, etc. So measure the volume by pouring it in measuring flask. It should be noticed that body should be not soluble in water. Otherwise, some other liquid can be used in place of water. Now, next point is, third number, comparison of density in 3 states of matter. Point number 3, comparison of density in 3 states of matter. You know the 3 states of matter? Number 1 is solid. The atoms or molecules are closely packed in solids, and due to that they have more mass for small volume, hence their density is very high. But there are a number of exceptions, as a few of solids are lighter than many liquids such as sodium, potassium, even ice is lighter than water. Next is liquid. Particles in liquids are not as closely packed as solids, and hence they have less mass for the same volume. Therefore, they are less dense than solids, but few exceptions are there, such as mercury, which is 13.6 times heavier than water, and it is even heavier than most of the metals. Number 3 is gases. Particles are very far away from each other in gases. For the same volume, they have least mass, so they are much lighter than liquids and solids. Next point is upthrust. You know that liquid exert pressure. If a piece of cork is dropped into the water, it will quickly rise up towards the surface of water. This is because liquid exert a force on object immersed in them. So this upward force that liquid exert on objects immersed in them is called upthrust, or you can define like this: the upward force experienced by a body when partly or wholly immersed in a liquid is called upthrust or buoyant force. It is also known as buoyant force. Upward force is known as buoyant force. You might have noticed that it is easier to lift a heavy object when it is under water than when it is in the air. So this is due to the upward force of the water. So the loss in weight of an object when it is immersed in a liquid is apparent and not actual. So the weight of an object in a liquid is called apparent weight. So apparent weight means actual weight minus upthrust. When an object is immersed in a liquid, the object is acted upon two forces. The earth gravitational force, which acts downward, it is force which makes the object heavy. And the second, the upthrust or buoyant force of the liquid, which acts upwards. The factors, so the upthrust on a body depends upon two factors. Factors on a body depends upon two factors. Number one, the volume of the body submerged in a liquid. The volume of the body submerged in a liquid. The space occupied by an object is called its volume. So the larger the volume of a body submerged in a liquid, the greater is the upthrust. So take an example, take a bunch of feathers and a stone of the same mass. Allow both of them to fall from the same height. You will notice that the stone falls faster than the bunch of feathers. The reason is that the upthrust due to air on the stone is less than that on the bunch of feathers, because the volume of the stone is less than that of the bunch of feathers. Next is the density of the liquid. In which body is submerged. Mass per unit volume is known as density. So the larger the density of a liquid, the greater is the upthrust it exerts on the body. This is the reason that an iron nail floats in mercury but it sinks in water, because the density of mercury is greater than that of the water. Next is Archimedes' principle. Archimedes' principle. This principle states that when a body is immersed in a fluid, partially or wholly, it experiences a loss of weight. This loss of weight is equal to the weight of the fluid displaced by the immersed part of the body. So you can define as when a body is immersed in a fluid, liquid or gases. Fluid means partially or wholly it experiences a loss of weight. This loss of weight is equal to the weight of the fluid displaced by the immersed part of the body is known as Archimedes' principle. And the last point is flotation. Upthrust causes some object as float. Upthrust applies to object which float in a liquid as well as to the objects that sink. An object float in a liquid only if its weight is less than the weight of an equal volume of the fluid. So an object sinks if its weight is more than the weight of an equal volume of the fluid. This illustrates the law of flotation. So the law of flotation states that the weight of the fluid displaced by a floating body is equal to the weight of the body. Or in other words, you can say if the density of an object is less than that of the fluid, the object floats. If the density of the object is greater than that of the fluid, the object sinks. When a body is immersed in a liquid, it is acted upon by two forces. Number one, the weight of the body. Suppose the weight of the body is W1, acts vertically downward due to the pull of gravity of the earth. And number two, the buoyant force W2 acts vertically upward due to the weight of the liquid displaced. With respect to the above forces, the following three cases arise. Case number one, when W1 is greater than W2. W1 is the weight of the body and W2 is the buoyant force. So, in this case, when W1 is greater than W2, the body will sink. Case 2, when W1 is less than W2, then the body just floats partially on the liquid. So see here, W1 and this W2. So W1 is less than W2. The body just floats partially on the liquid. Now, case 3. When W1 is equal to W2, then the body floats just inside the surface of the liquid. See here, this is liquid and this is the position of the object. Downward force is W1 and this upward force is W2. So when W1 is equal to W2, the body floats just inside the surface of the liquids. Now refer to the question which is given on the Tenno app as a homework. Thank you.